I'm pleased to announce my next guest here at Intercom's London Oil and Gas Conference. He's the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of a company targeting its international operations spanning from Gabon, Angola to the onshore United States in the Bakken. Our viewers may note Cobalt International's Kamea discovery this year. This well was drilled in the same basin that my next guest is drilling. Mr. Bobby Gerry from VAALCO Energy joins us today to discuss his outlook on the company's operation and near-term goals. Tell us a little bit about the philosophy and strategy at VAALCO to sort of familiarize our viewers with that.
Well, first, Brian, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here in London. The philosophy basically of VAALCO and what we're striving to do is to build VAALCO into a mid-cap E&P company. Our strategy really to do that is to explore for oil primarily. We're halfway there. I think we've got projects going on in both internationally and now domestically. The overall aim that we're striving for is obviously to build shareholder value. The exit strategy someday when we build a company that'll have a market cap, we hope, in excess of $1 billion, perhaps $2 billion, is perhaps to sell the company at that stage to reward our patient stockholders.
That's the goal of everyone, I suppose. So talk with us a little bit about your drilling program that you have planned for the second half of this year. It's an important step for you guys at VAALCO. How will this program sort of affect your production outlook for the rest of the year?
This year we intend to drill at least 3 development wells on our Gabonese assets. This will be designed basically to maintain production between 21 and 25,000 barrels a day. We have a large project I think we'll talk about in a minute in Angola. We hope to drill 1 well there in the 4th quarter perhaps of this year. And we will probably drill about 4 Bakken wells in Montana. Most of this is going to occur in the 4th quarter. I don't think there's going to be a lot of added production in 2012, but certainly this will be a catalyst for production growth in 2013.
Right. And you alluded to your first well in Angola, an exciting play for you guys, obviously where Cobalt had made its Kamea discovery earlier this year. When do you plan to drill this first well, and is there any update on the progress there?
The update is I was in Angola and came back about 10 days ago. We are excited about the progress we're making with Senegal. There, I have said in the past, and I think we've even put out some press releases, that we hope to drill a well in Angola this year. And I'm not going to change my opinion on that. We still are certainly on track to try to do that. In all honesty, it's a moving target, but with Cobalt's discovery, it has created an added impetus for companies that want to join us as partners in this block. You may know we've got a 40% operated interest. We had a partner that defaulted a while ago. We've been searching to replace that 40% partner. And again, thanks to Cobalt proving up the pre-salt potential on the block, we are receiving more inquiries than we ever have before. And so we'll see what happens. But we're excited. We're very encouraged about our trip to Angola. And we think it'll happen, and I can stick to the schedule of drilling an exploration well at least in Angola this year.
Good, good. Well, moving a bit north of Angola up to offshore Gabon, you're partnering with some of the world's largest and most well-known operators, both on the developmental programs and the pure exploratory projects. Do you have adequate FPSO capacity to handle sort of this future growth potential in the area?
We do. This year, again, we're going to drill about 3 primarily development wells there. The FPSO has a storage capacity of about 1 million barrels. So we can handle extra oil. The FPSO is somewhat restricted, though, by the daily fluids it can handle. I think 30,000 barrels of fluid is the maximum. We do produce some water there at the moment. We have plans to put a water knockout facility on one of the platforms to decrease the water and be able to flow oil. But if we had a major discovery on Gabon, we can add to the FPSO for that, or if it was really large, we'd have to get another FPSO, but that would be an enjoyable task.
Right.
And, you know, for the short term, certainly medium term, we're fine.
Great. So to give our North American investors and viewers sort of a taste of your U.S. operations, you mentioned your Bakken activities at Poplar Dome and at Salt Lake. What are your near-term drilling plans there, and how do you think about allocating capital between your North American projects versus your international projects?
This year, I think we've our capital program's about $60 million, both domestically and internationally, ex-Angola. If we drilled a well in Angola, probably we would add another $35 million to our capital budget for the year. It might be worth mentioning VAALCO has probably today $150 million in cash. Okay. Will cash flow someplace between $70 and $80 million, we believe, this year. So we basically could do all of this out of cash flow and keep our bank account, if you want, available for an acquisition or another project that we may have. So it's about 50-50 the way it's set up currently. And again, in Gabon, that's 3 wells offshore. We haven't mentioned, we also are going to drill an exploration well onshore. Our partner there is Total. Total has been reprocessing 2D seismic that was shot a few years ago over the block. They're paying 75% of those costs plus 75% of the first exploration well for a 50% interest. So that's potential upside. And there are a few other interesting potential exploration prospects on our offshore block that we currently have. Probably won't drill them this year, but 2013 we'll probably drill another couple of exploration wells on the Atom marine permit.
So what should investors consider when thinking about a small company like VAALCO? You have such a diverse, international operation between North America and your African exploration. What advantage does it provide? Obviously, you mentioned your tremendous balance sheet. So, what other advantages does a small cap company like yourself provide the investor?
West Africa is still, compared to North America, certainly relatively underexplored. And for a small company like VAALCO, it is a great opportunity to find substantial reserves, whereby one well could conceivably quintuple VAALCO's reserve base. And if we have enough projects going on, and we have 1,400,000 acres in Angola, we're the second largest stakeholder in the Kawanza Basin, there is oil on that block. And given enough time and enough money, and we've got the money, we're going to find it. So onshore North America, we are looking at the oily plays. We're in the Bakken, we think, at a very reasonable cost. It's around $380 an acre. We have gross acres about 28,000 acres. It's doable. We're drilling our first well now and testing it, and we hope to drill 4 more wells in 2012 and expand that somewhat in 2013. But I think it gives a repeatable leg on VAALCO's exploration program by having the Bakken and being offshore again, West Africa. It sets us up to have a large reserve add if we're right.
Well, great. Mr. Gerry, thank you again for taking the time today. It looks like investors have numerous upcoming catalysts to sort of look for from West Africa to the U.S., so all the best to you and the VAALCO team.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.